At 73 years old, Elvis Presley's stepbrother has come forward with a revelation that challenges long-standing beliefs about the king of rock and roll. After decades of silence and having lived in the shadow of a cultural icon, he now shares a truth that many overlooked or dismissed, perhaps because it didn't fit the legend we wanted to believe. With a voice that carries both the weight of memory and the clarity of time, he reveals a side of Elvis few have ever seen. Growing up in Graceland was not the dreamlike experience the public imagined. The stepbrother, who lived in the Presley household during Elvis's later years, describes a man who was deeply troubled behind the fame and glamour. According to him, Elvis was not only burdened by the pressures of stardom, but also by inner demons that ran far deeper than addiction or fame fatigue. He describes Elvis as someone who desperately sought meaning and stability in a world that constantly pulled him in conflicting directions. What's most shocking is not the revelation of drug use or emotional struggles. Those are well documented. Instead, it's the claim that Elvis was actively seeking spiritual transformation in his final years. The stepbrother recounts how Elvis explored multiple religious beliefs, read from sacred texts late into the night, and often talked about wanting to escape the identity that had been built for him by the world. He wasn't just tired of being famous. He was searching for something that fame could never provide. This version of Elvis is jarringly different from the larger-than-life performer on stage. He was a man conflicted between public expectations and private yearnings, someone who felt imprisoned by the image others adored. The stepbrother insists that Elvis often spoke of walking away from it all, selling Graceland, quitting music, and living a simpler life somewhere far from the spotlight. These weren't passing thoughts, but serious considerations, shared in moments of vulnerability with those closest to him. For years, this part of Elvis's story was ignored, perhaps because it didn't fit the myth. The world preferred to remember him as the glamorous icon who changed music forever, not as the man who wept behind closed doors. But now, with age and reflection, his stepbrother feels it is time to tell the whole story, not to tarnish a legend, but to humanize it. He believes that in knowing Elvis more completely, we can understand the true cost of fame and the deep loneliness it can bring. This revelation forces us to reconsider what we think we know about Elvis Presley. It shows us that even icons are human, that even the brightest stars can flicker behind the scenes. The truth shared by his stepbrother is not a betrayal. It's a reminder that behind every legend is a life, full of complexities, contradictions, and quiet truths the world rarely sees.